All right, yeah. So some mindset things with our websites, and so there was this time where you could create a website and you could get leads through it just by existing. Um, that time doesn't really exist anymore. Uh, there were times where people read blogs, right? Uh, I don't see blogs as a valuable use of our time anymore. If we're looking at who's familiar with the 80-20 principle? Mindy, can you tell it to me? What is it?
I have food in my mouth. I had talking with the food in my
Oh,
mouth. That 20% of what we do leads to 80% of our results.
Exactly. Right. And as a real estate agent, what generally speaking, what is your 20%?
That would be lead gen.
Yep. Any of you grew up in the church? You grew up going to church and Sunday school and stuff, right? The answer was always Jesus, right? Right. They could ask you a question, be like, Jesus is the answer, right? Same thing with real estate, but it's lead gen, right? You can be in any class, they could ask you a question, you just answer lead gen, and they're gonna be like, yeah, you're pretty much right. So yeah, the answer is lead gen. And Mindy, you've had a successful business, right? Do your best lead gen activities have business coming to you, or are you going out and capturing that business?
I'm probably not going to give you the answer that you're expecting. I'm getting a lot of my business coming to me. I'm not necessarily chasing after it.
So let's clarify that a little bit. So how are they coming to you?
Agent to agent referrals, client referrals.
Mm.
People find me online.
So referrals were the first two answers out of the three.
Yeah, 75% of my business is referral based.
Mm-hmm. So prior to where you are now, you had to already go and build the relationship with those people in order to get those referrals, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've earned your way to business coming to you.
Okay.
Correct? It wasn't like you posted up a website and all of a sudden all the referrals came in,
No, I
right?
wish.
It was you did the work.
Yeah.
You've proven yourself, you've created a relationship, and you've created a reputation for yourself so that the business comes to you.
Yeah.
So you did give me the answer that I wanted, just not in
Okay.
the way I wanted it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Yep. So that's the big point in this is that our we always want the easy way out. We want business just to like come in and they tell us what houses we want. We show them the houses where they're like, "Hey, Mindy, what's up? You've never met me. You don't know who I am. We've never had a conversation, but come list my house right now."
But I did get one of those.
One of
And
those.
we're going to go
One of
live in a
those.
couple of weeks. So,
You did get one of those, but you've earned it. You've paid your dues, so now those happen.
okay.
But that doesn't happen just because, oh, I got my license last week, I created a website, and now people are just showing up.
Oh, yeah, no.
Right. So I just want to make that very clear. Now, what websites, and by the way, part of that too is reason being is the market's different and our competition is different. Have you guys ever what was it? There's a website and I forget what it's called, but it's something time machine where they've gone and archived like every version of a website historically. And what's really fun is going and looking up like what Zillow looked like when it first came out, what Google looked like when it first came out. It's hilarious because they sucked, right? And so back then, Zillow wasn't this great search product that was so user friendly and had a great user interface and people loved using. So there wasn't that competition there. So you could post up a website, throw an IDX feed on it, pay, however cheap it was to get your IDX feed, and you'd capture tons of business that way. Not anymore. Zillow's got the entire country. And IDX fees are only increasing. Right? I've yet to hear of an IDX fee that's under $100 a month. So, and then on top of that, Google, right? If you Google anything real estate, Who's going to come up? Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Trulia. Why? Because they've got these massive marketing dollars that they can pour into things like search engine optimization, showing up on the sponsored list at the top. Granted, that's the one area where we can compete is with Google PPC and ads and stuff. But if you want to organically show up on Google searches, you're going to be spending so much time, either so much time or so much money, that you're not going to have any time for business or any money to sustain yourself. I've got a friend who he was showing up as the #1 search result for real estate blogs in his area. He was showing up the very first result. Anytime you searched anything real estate in his area, his blog was showing up as the first organic result. His business is entirely tanked. He's not making any money off it. People are going to his website and learning from him, but it's not getting him any business. So what is a website for? A website is to provide value to your current client. You've already captured the lead. You're already in, write this word down if you're taking notes, emotional proximity. If you've ever sat in a class with me, you've probably heard me say this before. If I had enough fingers, I would tattoo it across my knuckles. Emotional proximity. That is the end. That is the goal of everything you're doing. Every conversation you have, every lead gen you do, everything is about bringing people into emotional proximity because people do business with people Ron, I didn't hear you say because you're on mute.
People they know.
Yep.
Like and trust.
There you go. Know, like, and trust, right? Those are all emotional words, right? I trust someone because I in my heart know that they're not going to do something that's not of my benefit. Right? I know someone because we've had interactions. They've shared parts of their life with me. I've shared parts of my life with them. Right? We're not talking know on the big biblical sense, right? It's just, hey, we know each other. Know, like, and like is obviously an emotional word, whether I like you or not, right? That's very emotional. So it's bringing people into emotional proximity. So our website is something to bolster that, not to bring people into emotional proximity. So you've already done that. You've done the work. You've lead gen. You've talked to them. You now have them in emotional proximity. They're in your pipeline. They're looking to buy, sell, or invest. And now you're saying, I have a product that can connect you directly to me that allows you to look at properties. So, by the way, right, not only do we have an IDX feed that's included in the dues that we pay, so we don't have to pay any more for our IDX feed, we have an international IDX feed. So you get the entire North America, plus you get some Mexico, Dominican Republic, some of Europe, anywhere that uses Keller Williams listing service, KWLS, those listings are going to appear on your website. So what does that mean? How many of you guys send referrals out? You ever sent a referral out? Mindy, I know you have. How much do you charge for a referral? How much, what fee do you collect for a referral?
25%.
25%. All right, that's what most people charge. Recently, there was the NAR lawsuit, so I'm really being very careful with the words I choose, especially around commissions, right? So you request a 25% referral fee. Now, Mindy, say I'm sending you a referral, right? And I say, hey, Mindy, I got this buddy in Boston that wants to move. I've been talking to him for a while. I made sure he's already pre-approved. He's ready to go. And I've got him on my website. Here's the 5 properties that he wants to look at. And he's just going to look at them and he's ready to put in an offer as soon as he picks the one out of the 5. Would you pay me more than a 25% referral fee for that?
I'd consider it, yeah.
Yeah, because I did some work. I saved you time, right? And so with this, we can do a little bit more work and help our client out a little bit more and then get a little more out of it, right? So there's a lot of benefits to this and you're not stuck. like this is, our world is just expanding, right? And so if you ever want to get into expansion, that's another benefit, is like you're not isolated to this one region that you live in, right? Say, Mindy, you're in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, right? That means you're going to have multiple IDX feeds. That's multiple hundreds of dollars to run your own IDX that you're just getting included in your dues. So I've just spent 16 minutes talking about websites. Are we clear though on that this is a value add to your current clients and not a lead generation strategy? Now, I will say this. Oh, go ahead, Angelo.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm moving on to something a little different. So I want you to ask that question. Whatever you had.
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Oh, okay. That's all you had to say? Awesome. All right. So I will say this. We can, Ron, did you have something to say? I just saw you unmuted.
No, I'm saying, so you're saying it's, the website is only to support our current clients or people that are in our emotional proximity. You're not lead generating from it. But it's also, isn't it also for people to find out about you too? If they hear something for you, then they want to go on and kind of learn about you as well. You know, that's a big thing. That's going to support some lead generation, isn't it?
Yep. So that kind of leads me. So I would say, I wouldn't say it's only for, I would say it's primarily for.
Okay.
So now even in what you're saying, this to learn more about you, that's still like a couple steps in the pipeline, right? They know your name. That's a pretty big step, right? So to even find out about you. And where we can use our website for lead generation is things like running marketing ads. So running Google PPC. So this is where we would absolutely lean on some features in our website. So through command, we can run Facebook ads and we can run Google PPC ads, Google pay-per-click. Now, with Facebook, we have the option to have a lead gen form, meaning when someone clicks on your ad in Facebook, it's going to pop open a lead gen form. It's going to autofill with their information that they have in Facebook. They'll click submit, and that lead information ends up in your command database. Now that's a feature that is unique to Facebook and Instagram, or Meta, which is, you know, the umbrella. With Google, when you run an ad on Google, you're simply telling Google that, hey, when someone searches for this, give them this link. That's all Google does. Google does not capture leads for you. They do not have that option. So you're then responsible for taking that lead, sending them somewhere that is then going to capture their information. And I see way too often people send those leads to their website, but then have nothing that asks for their information aside from that little contact me form at the bottom that nobody cares about. So in our websites, we have the option to have forced registration, meaning, okay, you land on, and we have some options around it, some flexibility, some customization. So it can be, hey, you land on my website, before you do anything, you have to give me your information, and then you can go do things. Or it can be, you have to look at 2 properties, or you can look at 2 properties. If you look at more, you have to give me information. I'll give you a Costco sampler, but you got to buy the full box, right?
That's what I have. 2. That's
Yep.
it.
And that's what I recommend, either 0, like immediate. For Google PPC, I'm going to say immediate, or 2. The next option is 10. I think that's a pretty big jump between 2 and 10. If someone's looking at 10 properties, I mean, yeah, you know that they're motivated at that point. And you're going to be losing a lot between 2 and, you know, that 2 to 9, you're going to be losing a lot of people, or 0 to 9 rather. And then the other option is no registration at all. It doesn't force you to register at any point, which, if you're not doing any sort of marketing to your website, that's fine, right? If you're only using your website for that value add, like I'm talking about, that's okay. Like my website, I don't sell real estate, so I don't bother with that. But yeah, if you're only using it for your clients, you can leave that off, and that's okay. But I've had far too many people come to me and say, Chris, I just spent $250 on ads and I got no leads. This thing sucks. I go, well, let's take a look at it. Looks like it's a you problem, not an us problem. So I just want you guys to know that before you ever run Google PPC, make sure you have forced lead capture on, or you're sending them somewhere that forces lead capture, because it's entirely your responsibility. All right, have I rambled enough? Would you guys like to see what we're actually talking about here? So how many of you guys have upgraded to the new website? You've upgraded, Ron?
I have somebody working on it with me, but yeah, I think they're going up to the new website.
Okay, awesome.
I just watched the video on it a couple of days ago. That was on, I don't know, KW Connect maybe. And it looks great. And of course, it then says that once you upgrade, you can never go back. And I'm like, what am I going to lose by upgrading? What am I giving up? That's what I want to know before I take that leap.
Me too.
Yep. Perfect. So I'm glad you brought that up. So one, you're going to lose landing pages.
Oh,
If you've created any landing pages that you use, what you can do is copy the link and save it, but those will eventually evaporate entirely. I'm going to get on another soapbox. I'm not a fan of landing pages. Most things that you can have on a landing page could just be on your website. So especially if I'm running an ad, I'm running like a Google ad or a Facebook ad, and I'm sending people to a landing page that's saying, hey, you can look at this one property or this one page, and this is all you're allowed to look at. And then maybe you're listing this a 4.3 house, this 1,200 square feet, and has a pool, right? And this lead clicks on it, goes to the landing page, and they're like, oh shoot, I don't want a pool. Pools suck. That's a bunch of work. I don't want to do that. But I still want to look at properties. But you've said, hey, you're going to a landing page. You're not going to get to look at anything else. Where do you think that lead is going?
Hello.
Correct.
so you had mentioned that to me months ago, and I stopped using property specific landing pages for that purpose. What I do still have though is my open house registration landing page that they scan a QR code, it brings them to that page, and then it goes right into command for me as a lead.
Yep. So there's
that's what I
a
don't
feature that replaces that.
Okay.
So I will definitely showcase that. If you've created any custom pages on your site, those are going to go away as well. We don't have custom pages to the degree that we did. They launched the new sites like over a month ago, and I haven't been talking about them until now because it was really a soft launch, meaning this is, hey, we've created this product, it's working well in beta, let's release it to the public and then see how it's working now once, in the real world. And then they're building on top of that. So landing pages are something that's coming. Custom pages are coming. We are also we've lost the ability to do iframe or HTML. So if you have like third-party widgets that you're using.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, then you want to pause.
Oh.
That's coming. We're gonna get that. It's coming. And there's
like
a lot of
neighborhood and school widgets.
Yeah. So yeah, those things are coming.
Okay.
And I don't give date, and I'm not a fan of saying things are coming. That's generally not what I say, but they've told me, they've shown it. Well, they've told us, they've shown it in publicly on a pipeline and everything. So I'm only saying that because they've made the public statement about it already. And there's a bunch of other really cool features that are coming as well that I'm just not going to say because they've kind of slipped them under the radar.
Do you know the timeline of when we should upgrade?
6 months, a year?
I don't get timelines. Also, I usually don't share timelines because things change I mean, guys, look at how much AI has changed, right? Like AI, ChatGPT, it came out in general public a year ago. And look at how much that has changed marketing and creating emails, and everything now has AI embedded in it, and it's all coming from ChatGPT. So it's really hard. Even when they do give me dates, I don't like saying them because I don't know what's going to come out tomorrow or 2 weeks from now or a month from now. Then it's going to entirely change the playing field. Because before, it was, if you wanted AI, you had to build it. And it sucked, and it took a long time for it to learn anything and get anywhere. Now you can go and just plug ChatGPT into anything, tell it to learn something, and it does it. I built my own chatbot, my own AI chatbot that replaces me. And it costed me $150 and about an hour's worth of work.
Well,
So yeah.
Okay,
Prior to that,
you just got my interest because I'm looking for ways for additional leverage. I just want to know how it replaced you, in what capacity.
yeah. So what I did was I bought this product.
Is that really you, Chris, or is that an AI?
Yeah. And so I went and bought this product, and then I told it, and Kim's my assistant. He helps me out with this as well. We just he updates it every week. I just tell it to go to answers.kw.com and learn everything on answers.kw.com. And he goes in every week and says, hey, go and relearn it just in case there's something new.
Wow.
And that's all it is. I'll show it to you guys in a minute because that's one of my resources that I want to share with you guys. But yeah, so remember, has anybody been around long enough for Kelly? Remember the Kelly app?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an AI we were building. That is entirely obsolete. In retrospect, every dollar we spent on building that was an entire waste because ChatGPT has totally obliterated every AI that we've built, right? So if we want to now integrate AI into things, which we have, there is some AI in our ad campaigns. I mean, all it is we just have to pay to connect ChatGPT to command rather than paying hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop it ourselves. So all that to say, you got me on a soapbox, but all that to say is I don't know the date. Something I will say is that around family reunion, which is middle to end of February, they usually drop a lot of things around the big events. So these big updates are generally going to come around family reunion and mega camp in August. So that's something you guys can kind of get used to and kind of have an ear out for. Once it's January, end of January, early February, late February, you're going to start hearing these things. So I'm trying to think of anything else that we'll lose. It's really custom pages, HTML, landing pages. Those are the big ones that people really rely on that are going away.
We
All right,
rely on
lots of words.
typewriters. We don't need them anymore. We relied on a lot of things we don't need anymore, right?
Yep. There's a lot of stuff we don't need. So a couple of things that you get now with the new websites that I want to just showcase. I'll go ahead and share my screen and show some stuff. I'm going to go to chrisorsini.kw.com, which is my site. And some of the differences, one, we get a new aesthetic. There's these nice kind of gradient color that we get, and recently updated, we're now able to change that from from this gradient to this gray up here at the top. So if you don't like the gradient, if it's not your colors, you can get rid of it. Featured properties, now we can do this dynamically where it's going to auto add featured properties for us based on whatever filters we want to put on it. I haven't put any filters, so I'm getting shenanigans like just land and stuff. So if you guys want to buy 53 acres for $250,000 in Connecticut, there's that. We also get blogs. Now I know if you've ever heard me talk about blogs, heard me rant about how they're a waste of time and they're stupid and nobody reads blogs anymore because we don't read, we just watch videos. And so it's still the truth. I still wholeheartedly believe that if you are blogging, you're wasting your time. What's great about these is that they're built for you. You don't have to, like this buyer guide thing. I didn't build this as part one, your first time home buyer guide. I didn't build that. That was KW built it, and it's actually valuable. It's I can click on it and it's actually valuable information that you can give your clients. So, and it looks nice, and I didn't create it. So that's one. You can also add, like, say if you're doing YouTube, I know Ron, Ron, you're doing YouTube stuff, right? You're the one that's
No.
no, it's someone
No,
else.
I'm not doing it yet. Yep.
I have
Okay.
YouTube.
There we go. Yeah. So you can post your YouTube videos on there as well, which this was me just doing a test, but you can have your YouTube video embedded right there on your blog, which is nice. Excuse me. We also have, if we go to About Me, we have a preferred vendors section. Now, guys, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but I want you guys to have a mindset around this. This is something Cody Gibson taught me that has really been embedded in my head. 1 + 1 cannot equal 2. 1 + 1 cannot equal 2. What does that mean? That means that everything you do has an ancillary benefit around it. And as small business owners, we need to be keen on every potential benefit of everything we come into interaction with. So say I partner with, there's an app called Productive.ai that I absolutely love and I use on my phone all the time. And I talk about them all the time. Don't you think, because of my relationship with them, I could probably call them up sometime and say, hey, I'm doing this webinar and we want to have a sponsor. Would you be willing to pay me to be a sponsor? Would you be willing to pay for like the advertising for this webinar? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd be about that because I've built this relationship with them. Now, I get a discount on the product, but now I can plus that because I'm more intentional with how I'm interacting with them. That with our preferred vendors, this is a great way for you to reach out to your business to business relationships and say, hey, I'm building out a preferred vendor list that I'm going to send all my clients. All my clients will be able to see on my website. It's just going to cost you $50 a month to be on it. Right now, you get 10 clients or 10 businesses to show up on your preferred vendor list for $50 a month, and now you just made 500 passive. Now you got passive income of $500 a month just for being on your website. Now,
Love it.
we don't just, I had some people asking me about this. We don't have like a payment portal. Like it's nothing like that. It's going to be, hey, I'm going to put you on there and you're just going to like send me a check for $50 every month, or, sign up for Stripe and just charge them. So billing is going to be all in your court, but we have this option and I think it's fantastic. And what's cool is they get two options. They can visit the website, right, and then take some, this is my company, so I've obviously not paying myself to do this, or we can do ask me about, and then it's a lead gen form, a contact capture form. So I'll close that. Now let's go to the property search. Now this is going to answer your open house thing, Mindy. So let's say this is my listing here in Lake Worth, and I'm doing an open house. All that I need to do now is go up into the URL bar up here. And at the end of the website, I'm just going to type /open house, hit enter. And once it loads, Everything gets slower when I stream. There we go. It's an open house form. I'm going to let's put Kim in here as signing in because I don't think I have him in my command. Do Kim. And yes. Do 9. Random number there. Click submit. Must be a valid phone number. Submit. And then if I jump back into command, oh, and that's cool. We've got this QR code. This is something I haven't seen because I actually haven't submitted anything yet. But by the way, I just got a notification on my Apple Watch from the command app that I got a new lead. And then this is going to, if I scan this QR code, it's going to prompt me to download the, oh no, it just takes me to the website. So then I can go, the client can continue to look at this property as they walk around. And it's your site. It's not the KW site, it's your site. So it's your lead. And then if I go back to command and I refresh, we'll see it in my recent leads. Kim just showed up a few seconds ago, and the open house is the lead source. I can click on them, and it'll show that he's a lead. His information is in here. And by the way, I forgot I did this, but I'm glad that I had done this. You can set up a smart plan to automatically go out to certain lead sources. So you can create your open house follow-up smart plan or use whatever KW has. And this person is immediately going to get a text message and or an email as soon as they sign in. How about that for follow-up? Right? How many times have you guys done an open house, had a sign-in sheet, and then got to it on like Tuesday? Or just lost it entirely, right? This is going to save you that effort. All you got to do is walk in with essentially you just have to have a QR code. So, which by the way, if you guys aren't aware, I love pointing this out. I'm just going to refresh this. If you need a QR code for a website on Google Chrome, if you click this little share icon all the way to the right, there's an option for create QR code. And it'll create the image and you can download it or just copy the link, but you probably want to download it. And by the way, this little dinosaur thing, I love it. I think it's super cute. I love dinosaurs. I have kids who love dinosaurs. Dinosaurs don't scream professional or real estate, in my opinion. You can just put a white block over this or put your logo over it, right? You can entirely, that area there is fair game. So you can put whatever you want there. So throw it into Designs or Canva or whatever.
I was going to say, I used to do it through Google Chrome. And now that I discovered you can sign up for something special through Canva, where I now have my logo in the center of all of my QR codes. I had all my signs remade and they have my logo in the middle of the QR code on my for sale signs.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, see, I just go in and do it manually because I haven't thought that far through. So,
well, and what's even better is that it's dynamic. So I can actually change where that goes.
Oh, I like that. Well, you just learned me something, Mindy. Love that. All right.
Dynamic,
so,
Mindy? What do you mean dynamic?
It means that, so when you do it with Google Chrome and you create the QR code, it is linked specifically to that site that you set it up with. And if that site, gets disbanded or changed in any way, it's going to be a broken link. You can go and set it up as a QR code in Canva as a dynamic one so that you can just use that same QR code and then change what it connects to.
So what I'm hearing, Mindy, is what you could do is you create that QR code in Canva, you copy this URL for this open house on Saturday and paste it to that QR code in Canva. And then on Sunday, you have an open house at another property, let's say this one in Boynton, and then you copy that link and paste it. And now you, using the same QR code, you're sending it to a different open house applicable for then, which I love that because now you can create a sign and it just is evergreen. Or you can just put it as a background on your phone or on your iPad or whatever. I think that's brilliant. So now I'm sure you guys are wondering, if you haven't upgraded, we have a couple ways to help you upgrade. One is we have the website or the video that I have on YouTube. So just so you guys know, if you don't know this already, if you go to chrisorsini.com, it's going to take you to my link tree. And I've got a bunch of resources here. This is where you can, if you're in one of the local offices down here, either Boca or Boynton, you can book some one-on-one time with me in person. You can book an appointment virtually if you're out of Florida. But here we have answers.kw.com. This is where this link is going to take you to. And you can go and find articles like this that are going to walk you through step by step the whole process of upgrading your site. I have a link for Learn at Your Own Pace. Now, Learn at Your Own Pace is going to take you to something called Connect. Connect is this link up here at the top of my command. Connect is our learning center, or what's known as an LMS, a learning management system. And if you just search Websites 101, there's this one class that they're teaching where they're actually walking through everything step by step. Maximize your mind share with Cutting Edge Website 101. This is our tech enablement team from KW Corporate, KWRI. They can, so you can like book one of these classes totally free. Then we also have, this link is to my recorded classes on YouTube. You'll be able to see me go through the process of upgrading my site and follow along. Then we have Lester. Lester is my AI chatbot that I created. So I'll click on Lester. And the first thing Lester is going to do is ask you what market center you're in. You can answer him by either your market center number or the city that it's in. So if you don't remember the number, you can put in the city, just because this is something that's only for those who I've contracted with. So I'll refresh this. Let's do, it's going to ask market center number, city name, or market center name or market center city. Put 535, which is where I'm at. He's going to say great. And I'm going to ask, how can I upgrade my website? And he's going to walk me through step by step how to upgrade my website. And then he's going to, oh, it's telling me that. How do I upgrade my agent site? It was talking about why does it give me the market center one? Well, see, this is why I need people to use it, because I need to see errors so I can go and fix it. But generally speaking, it's going to give you step by step, and then it's going to give you an article supporting how to do it. And again, I got to go update it because it's giving me broken links, which is just on an old cache version. But yeah, it's AI, so it's got to learn. So those are your resources. Now, again, they point out here, you're going to lose your custom pages. You're going to lose your landing pages. Good. I hate landing pages. Get rid of them. What you do is you go in and you're going to just say, I want to upgrade my site. There's a little video that shows you some of the features and benefits. And then you're going to pick your subdomain. Now, A subdomain is just a extra dot in a website, right? So there's kw.com, but there's also chrisorsini.kw.com. So that's the Chris Orsini, that's the subdomain part. So you're going to pick, your mindydoppler.kw.com. Now, if you own your .com, do you guys own a .com? Who owns a .com here? Like a domain outside of subdomain. I recommend everyone go and buy a .com. Whether it be, your name, angelosierra.com, I have chrisorsini.com, whatever, just make sure if it's real estate related that you check your local regulations and that you're not in compliance violation. I know in Florida and Massachusetts, you can't use like properties or real estate.
Yeah, I had to change my business name because I had property.
Yep.
I can't use that anymore.
Yep. So I recommend just, if anything, you should go and buy your name.com, right? angelosierra.com,
Why should I
mindydoppler.com.
spend money for something that I'm getting, in a sense, free on command because I've already paid for it with my tech fee?
That's a brilliant question. So the reason being is you now have the control to send people to wherever you want, right? First off, it's going to cost you maybe $20 a year, not a huge overhead, but yeah, it's still money spent. And I don't like to tell people to spend money, but let's just say we don't know what the future holds. Maybe, right? Maybe something changes where Keller Williams isn't allowed to use kw.com and they have to use kellerwilliams.com. And now all of a sudden, all of our subdomains change from chrisorsini.kw.com to chrisorsini.kellerwilliams.com. Right? Now, what if I had gone and printed 1 million business cards that say chrisorsini.kw.com and now that subdomain is invalid? If I just buy chrisorsini.com and redirect that to wherever I want, now my business cards are evergreen. It doesn't matter where the destination, what the destination URL is, because I have control over where I'm sending them, and then I can send them anywhere I want from there. So it just puts you in control over whatever random things might happen.
Do you have a
going forward.
suggestion? Because I only know of GoDaddy. Do you have a suggestion for where you would recommend buying that domain from?
You read my
I use
mind.
GoDaddy.
Yeah.
What was that, Angela?
She read my mind, Mindy. I was thinking the same thing. GoDaddy, is that a good source for?
Yep, GoDaddy's great. They usually have deals going on, so GoDaddy's good. GoDaddy's going to be the easiest one. Google Domains was something that I've used, but they just recently handed that off to Squarespace. So I default to GoDaddy. And if you need help with redirecting, I can help you with that. It's pretty simple once you know how to do it. If you don't, it can be a little bit confusing. And I don't like how Google Domains did redirecting anyway. So yeah, GoDaddy's the go-to. There's other sources out there that are fine. Because really you're just getting, am I getting Cheerios from Walmart or Publix? That's really the only difference. Is you're still getting exactly the same thing. It's just where you're getting it from. But yeah, GoDaddy's. That's a long answer to say yes, GoDaddy. Subdomain. All right, back to this. You're just going to, this is just saying, hey, I know my site's changing. You confirm, you go next, and then agree to all that, upgrade now. And then it's pretty much ready to go once you go through that process. It's going to walk you through different ways. Now, this is a very, very different user interface from what we're used to if you have done anything on your website previously. So here is, they even recommend some custom domain places here. It's funny, I didn't even see this part on the on this, and yeah, that's what I've seen generally too, Mindy. But yeah, I didn't see this paragraph before I went on that soapbox, so I'm glad they're in alignment. Now, what's great is once you're on this answers article, we can now go and see the other things that we can do in here. If we wanted to edit the theme for our website, we can change it from that gradient to a slate color, and slate light or slate dark. Pretty simple. We've got slate light just has the white on the top, slate dark has the dark on the top, the slate on the top. Say we wanted to add our vendors. This is going to walk us through step by step. We go into about, and then we'd go into vendors, and then we'd go and add them. So on and so forth. I'm not going to go through every single page for you guys, but I just want you to know the resources are available. And again, work out if it makes sense for you to upgrade. Eventually, they're going to force everyone over. I don't know that date. As soon as I do, I'll let you know, but I don't know that date. But yeah, weigh it out for you. I'm not going to tell you to do it or not do it one way or the other. Just want to show you the pros and cons of each.
So Chris, right now, if we were to change, we would lose landing pages and widgets. You say they're going to add back widgets at some unknown time frame. So
Correct.
that would mean that we wouldn't be able to have that information on our site. We can't customize the site to include any of that.
At this point in time, yeah, we are unable. All right. Any other questions? Anything that stood out to you guys? Did you learn anything?
Yeah, it looks like you got a great resource page here. This is pretty chrisorsini.com.
Awesome.
This is great.
So when you buy a domain, like if I were to buy
Mhm.
my domain name, because I already looked into it to see if it was available, which I would do in my business name, not in my name. Can't create a website from it. It's only the name that you're buying, right?
Yeah, so you can create a website from it if you want. So it's sort of like you're buying like an address, but there's not a home
Yeah.
built on it yet. And those are two separate things.
Okay.
Right? So like you'd go to maybe Wix or Squarespace or WordPress to host the website itself. You just now have that address for that website with no home built on it.
Okay. Now I've seen some pretty amazing agent websites that I'm pretty sure are not from Command.
Oh, absolutely. There's some beautiful websites out there.
Yeah.
If they really ran their numbers and did an ROI report on their website, is it making them back 10x what they're spending on it, or even just covering the cost? I doubt.
No, I mean, for me, the two primary uses that I have for my website is for the QR code for getting the leads. And the second one is that if I have somebody who is interested in a listing of mine, a property of mine, is that I go to my website and then I type in the address of the property and then I send them the link from there, which kind of forces them to register
Yep.
if they start browsing.
See, that's perfect. And because honestly, there is nothing that Zillow has over us as far as websites go.
And
Right? It's the
my
same thing.
whole goal is to get any potential clients or current clients off of Zillow. Because I've had buyers that will like send me the link from Zillow. And I'm like, oh God, now I have to research it through Zillow. So I've gotten them in the habit, give me the address, and then I can send them the link through my site instead.
Yep. So there's something cool that I want to show you guys. So again, we talk, I rant about blogs and all these extra pages and how they're unnecessary. And I'll show you that when we created our sites, we just pulled what consumers are looking for. And if you look at Zillow, there's search and there's properties. When was the last time you read a blog on Zillow? Right? If I go to Realtor.com. There's search and there's featured properties. How about Trulia? Search, featured properties.
Hmm.
If I go to Redfin, search, and then crap that people don't care about.
Pretty plain vanilla, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
If I go to my website, search, featured properties. It's what consumers want.
Hmm.
So instead of, and I think it's funny because I feel like, you know, everyone does this, right? We get in this tunnel vision of being the provider of the product. We assume what the consumer of the product wants. Me as a trainer, I do this all the time, right? I assume, I made up a class title for some class the other day, and I was like, hey, put this title on the calendar, and the director of culture is what we call her. She goes, that's a terrible class title, Chris. Nobody wants to go to that. Because I'm thinking from my brain, right? From my perspective. And I was like, okay, you can make the title then. All right. So we assume what people want because we're on this end of it. So
Well, that's the same as getting the right subject on an email to get them to open.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a
All right.
terrible subject.
Yeah. Cool. Well, is there any questions I can answer in the next 3 minutes?
That's great.
Can
That's
we
great,
reach
Chris.
out via email if we had a question? And we
Yes.
just- okay.
Great question, Angela. Yeah. So if you do have questions going forward and none of the resources on my website are helping, then you can go to Chris you can email me at helpmechris@kw.com. You're like, I need help. Who should I call? Oh, help me, Chris @kw.com. You shoot me an email, and guess what? I'll help you.
I
Cool.
can
All right, guys,
attest-
I got another-
can attest to the help, Chris. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
You.
Oh, thank you, Angelo. All right, well, I've got another meeting to run to. I appreciate you all for listening to me soapbox for an hour. Have a good one.
Honor and a pleasure.
Chris.
Thank you.